You're listening to Guitar Talk with Dave and John.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the program.
You're listening to Guitar Talk.
Oh, hey, everybody, it's John, and across from me here is the lovely Dave Levine.
Yes.
What's happening?
Not too much.
Grown in your winter beard?
I am. Yep. It's very gray. It's very gray. Did you hear? I don't know if you saw this. There's this guitar player who was playing in Florida, and he's an old guy, he was 71, and he just in the middle of the song says, "I'm sorry," and then put his head down and died.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
What is this all about? Who is
Didn't drop his guitar. Just sat there like that. Dead.
Huh.
Yeah, he ended up playing 3 more tunes. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
People were like, they were the best 3 songs he played that night.
Is this a real thing? This really happened?
Yeah, the guy's name was like David Olney. Olney. Happened in Florida.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I wonder how long before people realized that he had just passed.
I think some people ran out onto the stage and couldn't resuscitate him. And they were like, they told the audience, we can't revive him. And they were like, well, can he do 2 more tunes?
More tunes.
Just beating that joke. Yeah, more tunes.
So people ran out on stage and tried to resuscitate his set list. And he said, guys, I'm trying to piggyback off your joke, but I have nothing.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
This guy has passed. Fortunately for you, his career had passed 25 years earlier, Michael.
Poor guy.
Yeah, no, it sucks. I mean, but they say he was like a real nice guy. He was a gentle guy, and he went out the way they would expected him to. He apologized.
He was Canadian, but he was living in Florida.
Right. No, he was from Rhode Island, I think.
Oh, okay.
Born in Rhode Island.
All right. Well, yeah. That is interesting. That's tragic news. Speaking of tragedy, we just learned this weekend that Kobe Bryant passed away. And not only Kobe Bryant, but apparently his 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Which is sad. Now, I will fully admit that I'm not a big basketball fan, so it did not hit me the same way that like Neil Peart, for example, did. But it's genuinely devastating to learn of like anybody's like 13-year-old kid just like croaking like that. That's
it's awful. I mean, the whole thing's awful.
Yeah, so
he was worth like $500 million, and he was 41 years old.
Yeah, I believe that. What's going on in the world of guitar this week?
You know, it's funny. I watch like videos and. It's funny. Last week you asked me what I'm watching on YouTube. I couldn't think, but I do watch like a lot of gun stuff. I watch like this guy HR Funk who does like the police training from every city, from every state. He does a different training, and there are some guys who just talk stuff that I watch. But I started watching some guitar stuff, and I noticed like all these people they talk about is gear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to me because no one's really discussing music. How many great amplifiers? If I said to you right now, John, you have no amplifiers, I'm going to give you $40,000 and take all your gear away from you. You'll sell me all your gear for $40,000, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now I say you get 1 guitar and 1 amp.
Okay.
Anything you buy is going to be, there's about 40 choices of a great amp. Now, you're probably going to get the Dirty Shirley again. But it doesn't matter because you like what you like. There's a lot of great stuff out there. You wouldn't be unhappy if it was like, John, I'm going to buy you what I think is good, and you have to go out and do a tour with it. You'd be like, all right, and the thing would sound great. I know what kind of music you like. I could pretty much find probably about 40 amps that you would like.
Sure.
And it's just, and plenty of guitars that you could modify and make to your,
Sure.
So I just get, we're going to check out this gear. We're going to check this out. Yeah, see how this pedal sounds. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, if you suck, the pedal ain't helping.
True.
If you're good, you're going to make any pedal sound good. You can make a tube screamer that costs you $80 if it's a, whatever. Or you can make what's the green one? The DOD, the tube screamer clone that DOD made.
I couldn't even tell you.
Not even what's the Bad Monkey? Is that them too?
Yeah, that's them, but that's not what that is.
Right. Okay. Well, you can make a Bad Monkey sound good.
Good guitar player can make a lot of stuff sound good.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say before that, like, they've heard Eddie Van Halen playing on other people's rigs, and he still sounds like Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah. No, there's something to like the hand tone or the bone tone or whatever you want to call it. Like the tone that's in your hands. There is a reality to that that's not
it's the touch, yeah,
by an amplifier.
It's the touch, the way you play the instrument. And the point I'm trying to make is everybody seems so dimed on, I gotta get more gear. Oh, I gotta own a Les Paul. I gotta have a Les Paul in my arsenal. Why?
Right.
I mean, just focus on mastering. So I don't know. To me, it's like
there's got to be channels that are out there dedicated to people writing music instead of this.
I don't think so. It's more. There are some playing now. I'll give you this. Stevie T is entertaining. I find him entertaining. Nobody's really talking music no bands are coming out playing great songs. There's really no guitar music. I've never seen a dead animal such as rock music get so much hype about what gear people are buying for rock music when they don't even care about the actual music.
Well, Rick Beato's channel talks a lot about not only gear, but about music. He goes on and does all these music breakdowns, and not just breakdowns, but he'll talk about music technique and perfect pitch and all kinds of stuff.
Sure. I like Rick. I don't care for the episodes of what makes this song great. You like it. What do you mean? It's like you're going to take a hit song and tell me what makes it great? Take a bad song. Take a song that didn't chart and tell me what makes it great and why everybody's wrong is standing out in the field ready to take some flack. But to sit there and jump on a song everybody loves and goes, let me tell you why this is great, is not fucking news.
That's what you should do. That's actually a really good idea.
Well, I do most overlooked albums, and I'm trying to tell people, these albums nobody gives a shit about. No one talks about them, and they should be talked about. But what I'm saying is, Rick Beato does a video on are you using the right string gauge? Gives a fuck. Billy Gibbons used sevens on a Les Paul.
Right. Did you watch that video?
No, I can't watch it just by the title alone.
Well, that's why you're describing what he's talking about in the video. You got to watch the video before you shit all over it.
I heard that somebody told me that he says that they talk about the different tones of the string.
Yeah, they do talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Who cares? And my whole point is the whole topic. Who cares? If Billy Gibbons is using sevens and Jimmy Page is using eights on a Les Paul, and most other people using 10s and 11s, are one of them right, one of them's wrong?
Oh, they're different.
Right. It's whatever the fuck they feel in their hands that they want to play.
So your bone to pick is with the title of the video.
I just think the whole idea of the video is irrelevant.
Well, all they do in the video, because I actually watched the video,
okay,
there's a panel of people and they go through and they play the guitars with all these different string gauges on them and discuss what they hear differently about it. The guys in the video aren't saying like, you should stop playing 10s because when I play these 8s, this is the sound that I got from it. They're just describing the different sounds that they're getting.
Okay, wonderful. That's so wonderful, John. Let me tell you, you could tell me that the 11s on a Strat has a glassier tone and I want a glassier tone, or I could turn the fucking treble up on my amp and play the strings that I enjoy playing. That's my point. I don't need, there's amplifiers that come with knobs.
Well, then it's good you didn't watch the video. You didn't waste your time.
No, I know. But I'm just saying it's right down the alley of what they're doing on YouTube. And like I said, I like Rick's videos. That I don't care for, and I don't care for the series about what makes this song good. But his
Well,
other stuff I
I
like.
I agree because I watched a few of the "What Makes This Song Great" thing, and he literally just covers everything that happens in the song, and it's like, well, I thought you were gonna pick something that stands out, but instead, like I watched the Rush one that he did, and it was like, listen to the bass, and then the next part, listen to the drums, and it's just like, okay, so what you're saying is the whole thing is amazing.
Right.
It's like you're just kind of fanboying every part of the song. I thought
That's all it is.
thought I was gonna get some like cool insider information, but I agree with you there. I do. Yeah, but
And also, I don't want anyone to think for a second that I think that string gauges all sound the same. I don't think they sound the same. I don't think string material sounds the same. I think if you're using pure nickels and you're using pure steels, there's a difference. If you're using nickel steel, there's a difference. If you're playing nines and you're playing and you go to tens, it will have a different tone. Why? Because the string is the part that's vibrating. Will it have a big enough difference in tone to give a shit? No. If you feel that the tens are a little brighter than the nines or have a more focused mids than the nines, fucking dial your amp.
focused mids.
But if I said to you, you know what you want to get the best tone? Cover your hands in Wonder Bread with butter on them and play with Wonder Bread on your hands. And you're gonna be, and that's gonna make the mids a little bit more pushed. Or you could go to your amplifier and hit the mid knob and turn the mids up.
Some amplifiers are gluten free, so you have to be careful.
Yes, but seriously, it's like, or you could turn the mids up, or you could cover your hands in a buttered piece of Wonder Bread.
I like pita bread when I play guitar.
No, pita bread has all the wrong tones. No, it's ridiculous. It's like.
That's when somebody's like, your riffs are kind of stale. And you're like, no, let me change the bread.
I just wish, I wish in Rick Beato's What Makes This Song Great, he would discuss the fact that, like, if you took a song, like, by, I can't even think of, but any band, and went over the hook to the song, why the hook is important, and where it sits in the song, and how. But even then, you can't, you know what? You don't really know, because if anybody could sit there and tell you why a song is great ahead of the fact, you'd be sitting at home writing hits every day.
Right. There's something.
You don't know. You're not going to know till afterwards. And it's like, it's a great hindsight thing. Let me tell you why this song's great, because it's great.
So we talked a few weeks ago about I'm piggybacking off of what you're saying here, by the way. I'm just wrapping a big bow around a whole lot of topics. We talked a while ago about the whole Guitar World top however many guitar players of the decade thing. And Mark Tremonti was number one, and I was shocked and dismayed by the whole thing. And I think I had told a story on here before about how I had never liked Creed back in the day. And I had gone back in time and tried to re-listen to them and try and see if I missed something.
Right.
You remember we were talking about this maybe 2 weeks ago or something. And anyways.
I just want to let everybody know also, let me just interject. John says this, but what happened was a cop pulled him over, and John had it on this music, and the guy's like, dude, are you listening to Creed? Oh, I'm just trying to see if I like them. I'm just giving it a... Guy's like, yeah, right. And you weren't speeding either, right? You were just seeing how fast the car could go.
Yeah, right. Cop's like, sir, are you not wearing pants? Like, no, I never wear pants when I drive.
Officer, are you going to say anything about me being naked? Seriously, are you listening to Creed?
So anyhow, yeah, I'm speeding and listening to Creed, and I still don't like it. Anyways, where was I going with this? Okay, so what is it that made them so freaking popular 20 years ago or whatever it was, to where they were on the radio every 5 seconds? Where somebody like me, and definitely you, I know you're not a fan, we listen to it and we go, this is awful. And yet, somehow they're still heavily promoted. Their concerts were heavily attended for at least that period of time. What makes that separation in your mind between the likes and the dislikes?
In my opinion,
Yeah, because in my opinion, it's
yeah,
terrible music. The melodies suck. The guitar tone was horrible.
I think it's very affected music. I think that they were trying to make do on what Pearl Jam was doing, and they were trying to take it to another place and make it. There was also a band called, remember Days of the New?
Sure.
I think they kind of ripped Days of the New sound from that first record. Like they kind of tailored it to sound like them. Who they were like trying to be the sound of the day.
Right.
I just think that Creed was. I think they had a heavily Christian audience. They
Was that
were
a thing?
heavily. Oh yeah, they were a heavily Christian band.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh.
And weren't all the songs Christian songs? Am I going crazy here?
I think you might be. I don't
Hold
think
on, Mr. Producer, Mr. Producer. No, I'm kidding. That was my Mark Levin impersonation. No, I think they were a Christian band. I think that's who they were going after.
Oh, well, that explains why I didn't care for them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they were. Yeah, I mean,
like somebody put on a Slayer record.
Yeah, I mean, isn't like don't they South Park make fun of him when the guy's like, "I'm the power and the light," and Cartman's like, "Oh yeah, you're so hard, you're so hardcore."
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that. Okay, all right.
I could be wrong, but somebody look it up in the audience and see if Creed was a heavily Christian band. I think they were.
All right. Well, okay.
There was something about when I listened to them one time when my skin started to burn, so I was just.
Exactly.
Right.
So I was never a fan of that, but I did check out some of the Alter Bridge stuff, which is his new band. Mm-hmm. The guitar player, he does this band with this guy Miles Kennedy.
Yes.
And while I don't think I love the band, I have found a couple songs that I liked. So that was a surprise, but still, it wasn't guitar intensive. I still don't quite get the guitarist of the decade thing.
Yeah, but, I don't know.
Melodically and vocally, it was a good song. That singer is really good.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I get asked a lot about pickups. I see a lot of people do videos on pickups. They do it on guitars. I see people buying guitars and removing the pickups right away, which is something that I do, but I already know what pickups I want on the guitar. And mainly I'm a Strat player. I was kidding who. I mean, Telly's here and there. But for the most part, I just don't understand this, like, YouTube is really, I mean, Google's genius because, it's really a shopping platform. When NAMM ended, it was like, oh, just see the new gem, the Pia. Now I'm getting emails from Sweetwater and from Guitar Center asking about it, showing me it. It's like, ooh, and it's only $34.99. I'm like, ooh, that's only $34.98 more than I'm willing to spend on it.
Right. Well, I think the whole Google platform is 100% designed to get people separated from their money.
Yeah.
This is what it is. It's a business and it's a marketing engine more than it's anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people are adding to that. I mean, if you look at the gaming, I don't know if you know who PewDiePie is. Do you know who PewDiePie is? So he's like the #1 subbed guy on YouTube.
Sure.
And he basically does videos where he's mocking gamers and it's all that stuff. They're not sitting there saying, what's the new game everyone's going to buy? And it's not like a shopping thing. They're actually doing something. And I'm thinking to myself, the gamers videos who get all the subs, these guys are kind of doing it right. I mean, I think YouTube could be a great platform for new bands to put out their stuff and for music shows and to have guest bands on them and to do it like that kind of way. But I just feel like it's so gear centric. Like everything is, it's like Guitar World was 10 years ago. So everything to me feels like an ad. People are getting sponsored by these companies and it's like, oh, Fender has the new Ultra. I'm going to tell you how great it is because they're giving me money to talk about it. And people are like, what? And the sheep are like, oh, must get the new Ultra.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to even interject because that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
If you want something different, you got to seek it out. And I don't, I don't follow, I don't do as much YouTube as I used to.
Wait,
I
did I say YouTube? I
you
meant YouPorn.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about this whole thing is we talk about like this gear thing and like how nothing is new. It's all recycled and whatever. And I find that the same thing happening on YouPorn.
Yes.
There's only so many times you can see a P going into a V before you're like, I've
Right.
seen this all before. Oh wait, this time it's her stepfather. Interesting.
You know what? Yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now. You know, what's interesting on Tony Fuentes?
The
We had
legend.
him as the legend.
Right.
We had him as a guest on the show. We need to bring him back. I have some questions for Tony. Like he had a video and it says 4 mistakes to not make or 4 things to not do when playing like George Lynch. And then in the video, which I had to watch twice because I couldn't believe it, he just played licks and never talked.
And he goes,
He never talked.
not once.
I mean, he didn't even have the mic on. No, it was just him playing. And I'm like, what are the 4 things we're supposed to, what were we supposed to get out of this? I had no idea.
You got to get Tony on the line.
So then he does a video, which I love Tony to death. He does a video and it's like how to get Jimi Hendrix tone in George Lynch. Like
How to get
somehow,
Jimi Hendrix tone in George Lynch.
and George Lynch, the two of them, how to dial in both their tones.
Okay.
Which to me, they're on different planets.
Well, yeah, sure.
And he dialed in the George Lynch tone and just started playing. And somehow, every once in a while, he threw in the word Jimi Hendrix.
Well, all right then.
We got to have him back on the show. I need to grill him about this.
So this is a YouTube thing that's happening all over the place right now, which is the list thing, which we probably mentioned before, as well as the just like any of like the clickbait sort of titles, like you're saying, 4 mistakes not to make. It's a list and a clickbait title,
Right.
and there's nothing to do with it.
It's just playing.
Right. I think the perfect video that you could do would be that video, and then the photo that is sitting there, like before you click on it, like the cover photo for the thing,
steal that.
Should be like a woman in like a bikini or something like that, right?
Oh yeah,
because that's
agree.
It's another form of it. It's exactly what they do all the time. It's just like, hey, let's make some sexual innuendo out of this, and then you click on it or whatever, and it's pain medication for your grandfather or something.
Yeah,
totally not related.
It's awful. It really is.
I can tell you the biggest mistake people make when they try to play like George Lynch.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, he also did a thing where he filmed a clinic of George Lynch down at the what's that place down in San Diego?
Pitbull
Audio, yes, exactly.
What about it?
George did a clinic down there last month.
Oh, okay. Right on.
And Fuentes filmed it.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have went.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Tony got to do lunch.
Go out and charter a small fishing boat together.
He's the captain.
Stranded at sea. Yeah,
I love the Daryl Dragon hat.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah.
So do you think that all of this gear talk is getting in the way of people being creative musically?
I do. I just remember, so when I was a kid, let's say 1985, 86. Let's say 86. I turned 18. How old were you, John?
I would be 5 years old.
Yes. So when I turned 18, you were just a few days into being 5.
I was enjoying Mrs. Bowen's kindergarten class.
Yes. And at that time, I was playing in a band. I had a Kramer Pacer Deluxe. Actually, I bought the Pacer in September of '86, and I was playing out of a PV Bandit.
Ooh, ooh.
I would crank the thing at rehearsals and play it. It was working fine. I mean, it sounded fine. It wasn't the best sounding amp. It wasn't horrible. And but I was like, what am I going to go invest in a big amp yet? It wasn't anything that I didn't need at 18 years old to be lugging around a 4x12. And so I was like, I'm not even going to, I didn't get one until, I wasn't a big Marshall guy. But the point of the matter was, we were busy writing songs and playing. It wasn't even a thought in my mind. I remember reading the guitar magazines, and I would be reading the stuff, the licks of the day, and there'd be ads and stuff, and I'd be like, who's that guy? Who the hell's Carlos Rios with a PV? Who's this guy? I didn't eyeball the gear and was like, oh my God, get me the lube. You know what I mean? I had jugs for that. But thank you. Thank you, folks.
That might have been I don't know if it was like a different time or a different age thing. Because when I was 18, 20, 22, I wasn't as worried about the gear and all that shit. That didn't happen until later. That didn't
No, but I
happen.
don't think.
Didn't happen until I had money and too much time on my hands. And I'm not talking about the stick song.
Oh, no. Really? But I don't really consider you to be a gear. How many guitars do you own?
What do you? Well, first of all, let me just stop there and say, what are you nuts? How many amps have I had over the last 10 years?
Yeah, but you don't keep them.
No.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I'm not
no.
a collector, but I'm
Right.
definitely obsessed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, how long do you think you're gonna hold on to that dirty Shirley?
Well, hopefully, I just keep it forever.
Ryan, are you listening?
He can get a dirty Shirley. They make them.
He needs to contact you.
Come on, Ryan. Give me a call.
Yeah,
My
I
phone
mean,
number is 555.
exactly. No, but I mean, I mean, we look at the gear behind me and it looks like I'm amp obsessed, but I could care less. If somebody wanted to give me an offer on any of them, they could go out the door tomorrow. I don't even barely use them. They're holding on to them. They're dust collectors. But I'm just saying, if they're also older amps and they're not like new, I'm not sitting there going, what's the new gear of the day?
No, I understand that. It's
Yeah.
it's a way that people make money. People have figured out how to monetize their interest without having to work in a music store. Because it's kind of the same shit, really. If you think about like somebody making gear demos and like all day long, like a Sean Tubbs is making gear demos at $1,000 a pop or whatever. I mean, he's making a career out of that without having to
Right.
schlep gear out of the front door of a music store. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, but it's not that big of a grouping of guys who are really successful at doing it. What is it? There's probably what 50 guys who actually make money doing it in the whole world. There's not that many. I mean, there's a
Well, I
lot of guys
mean,
out there trying to do it, but you look at their
yeah,
subs, and like I know this one dude named John Bingham who's got like 600 subs.
that's
You
all
know,
you're at right now?
he's not making any money.
No.
Nah, but I haven't really focused on YouTube at all. It's not.
Yeah.
I had other fish to fry. But
Yeah, like I said, maybe it's just me being fuddy-duddy old man, but I'm just like, can somebody talk about tunes?
you're Sharon Marsh right now, and I'm Randy. It's good, Sharon. I like it.
It's called a tasting and it's classy.
I don't even know.
That's when he had like 5 glasses of beer out. He
Oh,
was drinking too much.
oh,
And they're
that's
like,
funny.
Randy, you're drinking too much. It's called a tasting, Sharon, and it's classy.
What's the one where he has on the headphones and he just hears the sound of shitting?
Oh, I don't know.
Sharon's like, it sounds like crap. No, it doesn't, Sharon. I don't know. I try to find stuff that I like out of like new generational stuff. I mean, it's still rock music. I still find that I don't stray far from my own, interest. Like I'm not listening to a bunch of hip hop trying to find what I like. But like I said, I found these two Alter Bridge songs and I was like, wow, I actually really like this. And I listened to them 3 or 4 times and I was like, sure enough, I do like it. These are good. And then the same thing happened a few months ago with Big Wreck. That new Big Wreck record. I liked a bunch of songs
Yeah.
off of that. So I mean, it's out there, but it doesn't get promoted. It's not accessible at all. You just have to kind of guess almost because there are no record companies producing this music anymore and putting it out there. It's like everything is independently created and you got to kind of fall on it.
So you were born in 81. What was the first album you bought?
Let's see.
Well,
First,
God is a Gift. The first one where you were like, this is man.
oh, sure. Dare to Be Stupid, Weird Al.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, that would be, my dad got me that when I was a kid. I got it on a cassette tape.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a great one. The first
Dare to Be
one
Stupid's the Devo rip. Where they're imitating Devo. Dare to be stupid.
Oh, yeah. That's right. So that was the first one that I had, but like the first one that I chose.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even tell you. It was probably like MC Hammer or something when I was like 8 years old. Like, I don't even know.
How can you not know?
I don't know.
I feel like Hugh Jackman in The Prestige. What do you mean you don't know?
I remember getting a Bon Jovi record. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember getting a Bon Jovi record. And I also remember when I got into metal.
Okay.
I finally got into metal, which I was probably like 11 years old or something when I got into metal. I remember smashing that Bon Jovi record.
Really?
I was going, I can't have this. Literally. Like a dumb little kid.
What was metal for you?
Oh, it was like Megadeth and Slayer and Metallica.
Oh, okay. Because we're talking 92.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, but no, I don't remember. I've had some real winners in there. I think when I was in like grade school, like 3rd grade, 4th grade, I'm sure I had like I said that Hammer record. I probably had the Vanilla Ice one. Cuz I mean, at that point in time, like what is it, 89 or 90? Yeah. I'm like 9 years old. It was like, what the hell do I know? I don't know anything.
Right. Oh, no, I'm sure, but I'm just saying that's it's interesting stuff. I remember so Megadeth, when all that stuff, I remember when Peace Sells came out, and I wasn't a big fan of the whole album, but I did like a few tracks.
Was that
and
like
then
86?
86 or 7. And then I never listened to anything by them again. And I always just avoided them. And I remember hearing Symphony of Destruction when it came out. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of more of the same. It's not bad, but I didn't love it. And For Closure of a Dream I had heard, and Hello Me, Meet the Real Me, all that stuff.
Sure.
And then I was at Gold's one day. It was like 96, 97. And it's late at night. And they're cranking the music. And Hangar 18 came on. And I was like, what the hell is this? This is genius. And I went out and got the album right away.
Oh, that's funny.
I had never heard it.
Well after the fact.
Oh, 96. Yeah, it was like they were just releasing cryptic writings, and I'm hearing Hangar 18 is on Rust in Peace?
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I didn't really listen to a lot of metal from the early, like in the 90s, I liked the grunge scene more. I was really big into, Soundgarden and Alice in Chains.
Sure.
Corrosion of Conformity.
Alice in Chains? I like Alison Krauss. What?
That's awful.
You loved it.
Folks, the jokes today are brought to you by the makers of Dixie Cups. Remember those Dixie Cup jokes when we were kids?
I don't.
Oh, they would have remember they used to sell the Dixie Cup dispensers, and then you'd pull a cup out and it would say like, what time do you go to the dentist? Tooth hurty. It was like those types of jokes.
Right. That's yeah, I don't think so. I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah. I'm sure there's some people on here that might remember that.
Yes. No, the only thing I remember joke-wise when I was a kid was Pollock jokes.
Oh,
There's a
there's
lot of
plenty
them.
of
Yeah, a
yeah.
lot of those. And it turns out that most of what you know as a Pollock joke in California would have just been a blonde joke.
Yeah, they're all this. I mean, they're all jokes are regurgitated jokes. You just put a different ethnicity on it or
Sure. It
a
just
hair
all
color.
yeah, we had a lot of Polish people in Detroit. So that was what we got. You don't hear a lot of those out here, like living in California. You never hear a Polish joke.
No, when I was a kid, it was very popular, the ethnic joke books. They had Italian, Irish, Polish. I bet you they still make them. They're probably still in print.
I can't imagine who would get away with selling them these days.
Oh, God. Yeah, you got to be able to laugh.
Nah,
But yeah, I remember those things around.
you go to Barnes
So,
and Noble and it's the non-binary, the non-binary joke book, and there are no jokes.
exactly.
It's just like there was a man, or maybe it was a woman, walking into a bar, and the bartender said, uh, I'll serve you whatever you'd like.
It's awful.
What's your pronoun? You can't have any fun.
Now that I've been shitting on gear for the past 30 minutes, what's that guitar that's behind you?
That thing back there is a import Hamer double cut junior. I don't even know what model it is.
Yeah,
I
but it
found
looks
it
like
at
basically like a 60. Looks like a clone of a 60, a 1960 Junior.
yeah, that's all it is. It's got a it's interesting because it was like a like one of those KMCB stock specials. So I found it at 40 Guitars in San Diego.
Which
And
company?
Top 40 Guitars in San Diego. So KMC distributes the Hamer stuff these days, and they had a crap load of them in the store. So Chuck, the guy that owns the store, was telling me he just bought a big batch of B stock, and I picked up a couple of them, and I found one that had a good weight, and I was like, wow, this thing's great. It's got a chunky neck. It's got an ebony fingerboard on it instead of rosewood because the problem with rosewood over the last few years.
Right.
It's hilarious. So you get this ebony fingerboard guitar with a perfect fret job, big frets on it. And I was like, I think I spent $200 on it. Maybe
Is that
220 after
Indonesian?
tax. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
$220 after tax, single P90. I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, looks all right.
Can't argue
We
with
do
it,
a lot
man.
of damage with that.
It's just dirt cheap. And you know what? Since I've had it almost a year. I haven't had to adjust the neck. And that P90 sounds pretty good. I have nothing to say.
How
Every
many
once in a while,
guitars are
you
you
find
sporting
something.
these days?
Oh, let me look around the old room.
You got the two warmiths or the three
7,
warmiths.
I think.
Oh,
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 8.
okay, not a
Unless,
tremendous amount.
in these cases. Oh, 8 guitars. No,
You got the Red Jackson.
yeah.
You got the two Wenge warmiths.
Right. I've got the blue
Maple
Strat
warmith.
Warmouth. Yep.
That's 4.
Marty Friedman right here.
5.
That one hanging on the wall. The
6.
black GNL.
7. You
And
still have that?
And the SG.
And the SG. You still have the SG.
Well, yeah. Yeah, the SG's not going anywhere.
That's impressive. I know you love that guitar.
I've had that guitar for almost 10 years.
Wow.
Well, Melissa got me that guitar. I'm not getting rid of that guitar.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
And let me ask you this question. What was the one you said right before that?
The GNL.
The G&L. That's still in your possession?
For the time being.
Christ.
Yeah, I still haven't bonded with it.
Yeah, and it has the proper neck?
Yep. The handshake just doesn't work. You know what I mean? You grab the neck and you go, oh.
Right.
I grab the neck and I go, eh.
You know what works? is if you take it, instead of using, like a lot of people use quadruple aught steel wool, is Wonder Bread and butter.
Right.
And
Right. We've talked about that.
it enriches well, I've talked about it as a glove, but now I'm talking about it as a lubricant for the neck.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yes.
So here's my beef with GNL. It's every single guitar I've ever picked up from them has been heavy as balls.
Yeah.
And this particular guitar, I told Ron, I was like, make it, I want to do lightweight, make it alder or ash or whatever, but it's got to be, I want a lightweight cut. And he goes, no problem. The way we do it is we pick the lightest weight cut in the shop. So I get the guitar and it's fucking.
Wait, hold. They picked the lightest weight cut in the shop.
Right.
Were they making their own blanks when you went?
Yeah.
You saw them making blanks?
Well, they had a bunch there. I don't know if they were making it.
Yeah, okay. I think they buy them as blanks. I don't think
they might.
I don't think they're making blanks.
Well, either way, the guitar's not light. It's still like their version of what should be lightweight is still freaking like 8.5 pounds, close to 9.
Yeah, you should almost get it chambered just so you could just to take the weight out.
Yeah, just I don't know. In my head, and it could be completely fake, but in my head, I'm convinced that a lighter weight guitar just feels better. Something about the way it resonates just feels better. Even if it's all in my head, it's real to me. So whatever.
Right. Well, no, the play. You want to be comfortable. You play what you like.
Yeah. So
play what you dig. That's what I say.
Unfortunately, it's just not. I don't feel it.
Yeah.
I've never.
Is it
never
a V-neck or is it a big baseball bat?
It's a baseball bat.
All right.
The neck's not bad. It's not bad, but it's heavy.
Yeah.
But ebony fingerboard, stainless steel frets.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of the accoutrement that you would look for in a guitar.
Yeah, my issue with them is I think they hit the big notes, but the devil's in the details.
Oh.
And they're not pleasing Satan.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is so they offer stainless steel frets. They should be offering jumbo stainless frets.
Right.
The people who are, and I don't want to use such a word, but I will, who are as musically progressive are going to want not just stainless frets, but jumbos. The guys who want the medium jumbo frets are the fuddy-duddies, and they want the nickel steel anyways because they are like a truest to the vintage style. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like making a design magazine like for gay men. Guys, we have a design magazine for interior design, and every one, there's like a penthouse model posing naked in the pages. They're like, what the hell's this for? Who are you pleasing with this? It's not us. But GNL does that. It's like there's some detail to the thing that's not going right. In other words, if you wanted a light piece, they should have wowed you with a light piece.
Yeah, or at least picked a light piece that
or at least given you a light piece.
Right.
But it's just like
I don't need them to bend over backwards for me. Just
no, but
if you're gonna tell me that it's gonna be a lightweight cut, when the guitar is built, it shouldn't weigh, nearly 9 pounds or whatever it is. It's just like
I don't know if you saw Anderton's video where they were showing G&L at NAMM.
Mm-mm.
And then they showed some models, and it's like, this is the model Leo was going to design for Fender when he left, and G&L's making it now. And the model looks like an old piece of shit. It's irrelevant. It's, I don't know, the G&L shit bag. I have no idea what they're calling it. It's irrelevant. The point is, I'll put the name on the bottom here, but it's irrelevant because it looks ugly. It's got like this plate in the front that wraps around, that's the control plate, because it's just an ugly guitar. And they're so on we're with Leo started us, Leo. You know who's not touting Leo? Music Man. And they're far more successful.
Sure.
Because they're not sitting there sucking on Leo's designs for the rest of their career. They're designing new shit and moving forward.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like it's the same shit that's going on. So GNL is like so stuck to promoting the story. We are with Leo. And it's like, listen, make a modern version of the Strat, fix what's wrong with the Strat, compete with the company of Fender, and otherwise you're just going to bury the company right next to Leo.
Yeah, that wouldn't totally surprise me. I wish I had more positive things to say because I like Ron. He's a good guy.
Great guy. I
They
think. No,
gotta
I
they
think Dave
they
McLaren's a good guy.
they do have to fix the fact that they can't get you a guitar built correctly the first time, uh, or the fact that they can't seem to produce a guitar that's under, you know, under a medium heavy weight.
The
I don't.
problem is they don't have anybody working there that has their thumb on the pulse.
Yeah, that
And
might
so
be
it's
true.
what's that? So
Might be true.
instead what they try to do is they have Ron, who's a salesman, make suggestions, and they're all trying to figure it out in the dark. Like, this will be cool because this is Leo. And when I worked with them for a little bit, they came right at me with, we're more concerned with telling the story of Leo and the story of the guitars. I'm like, you guys should be concerned with making guitars people want. Like, no one gives a fuck about the story. And every generation that's growing up doesn't care. Like, you can have the story, but take it to the future. Like, step away from Leo for a minute and grow the fuck up. It's time to put on the big boy pants and make a guitar that people will pay for. Look, John Suhr
They're
is
looking for relevance, and that's one way they think they're going to find it.
yeah, they haven't though.
Yeah.
I mean, John Suhr makes a decent guitar. GNL makes a decent guitar. I'm sure John Suhr outsells them.
Yeah, that would if he did, that would be amazing too because the guitars are 3 times the price.
Yeah,
And for the record, that guy is a really nice guy. You ever met John Sir before?
I spoke to him on the phone.
I had an opportunity to meet him for a couple of NAMM shows now. I've had a chance to run into him. He's always been very cool.
Yeah,
And I've
nice.
heard nothing but nice things about the guy too. So
He was very nice to me.
props to him.
I wanted to get stainless frets put on a guitar, and for a while his shop was doing it for anybody who would walk in. So I called him and said, I'd like to come down and bring 2 guitars and have your stainless steel fret them. He goes, I don't do that anymore for any guitars other than my own. And he was real apologetic. He's like, look, I'm sorry. I can try to get some guys near you that do it, but I don't do that anymore. And we're trying to be. And I was like, no, he was super nice about it. He was super nice about telling me to go fuck myself. I
Exactly.
was kidding.
That's funny.
He was like,
Yeah.
I'll even send you the lube, whatever you need. What do you like? Wet platinum, Astroglide, whatever you need. I'll send it to you. You can go fuck yourself till Tuesday.
You just said, okay, well, yeah, I'll take the Astroglide. So what's the deal these days, speaking of Astroglide, what's the deal these days with all of these, like, stepfather, step-sibling videos that are going on? It's kind of disturbing.
It's so, I mean, first of all, the stepfather is younger than the daughter. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, completely.
It's it's not Naughty America. I can't think of the guy's name that does that whole series, but it's like ridiculous. Or he's like, oh mom, you're going to the gym again, and she's like, oh yeah, oh my god, and I'm like, they're like 2 years apart, and with the son being older, and it's always stepmom videos. It's gotten so ridiculous.
Yeah. I think they're looking for a new way to be kinky or whatever, a new way to be naughty. It's just, I don't know, it's stupid.
Oh, I find it humorous because they're trying to get into acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they try to act, and you can see it's
Well,
pathetic.
right. Oh, it's like the acting in The Big Lebowski when he's like, I'm here to fix it on cable.
You love Jackie Treehorn.
Anyway, hey, guess what? This thing's still sitting here. This DOD rubberneck delay
Oh, wait,
pedal.
yeah, how was it?
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, my goodness.
I had it sitting on my desk for a month. I haven't had a chance to try it. I'm so excited too. Not really.
They called you up. They're like, John, what's the delay? You're like, oh, it's a rubberneck. No. How come we haven't played it yet?
That's awful. Oh, there's so many features and knobs and things to do with it. And I have a feeling that when I finally get it dialed in, it's going to go bum, 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 bum.
Right.
Whoa, listen to that.
You know what delay sounds great?
Bum, bum, bum.
Everybody's but mine. No, every time it's like you hear a delay, it's like, oh, that sounds great. Then you plug it in your board, you're like, yeah, it's all right. I don't need another one. It's true though. I'll tell you, the memory lane delay was a great one. That was Diamond. It just took up too much real estate. Yeah.
Are they still around?
I think so.
I think Diamond made great stuff. I'm going to look up and see if they're still making gear. Because you don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, you had a compressor years ago. I remember you had the Diamond compressor.
I did. And it was good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Diamond pedals, innovating sonic excellence. Yeah, apparently they're still around.
I think they make the best tremolo going around. I love their tremolo.
I bet you do, you son of a... Oh,
I'm shaking like tremolo.
What do they... Tremolo, what do they make? Okay, so they make... Beato,
tremolo, memory lane, junior now, I think it is.
Anything you'd like to keep cool.
Yes, they make pedals.
Yeah, they make pedals. So it looks like it. But they're still doing it. I wonder when the last time they opened a new dealer was. Well, there's a picture of Guitar Showcase with...
I think Alvis carries them still. I don't know why they would stop if they... Alvis was a Diamond dealer.
California. Alvis Music, sure. Amp Shop Bass Exchange, Bananas at Large, Guitar Showcase, True Tone Music. There's no way True Tone still has these.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
No, I don't know about that.
Alan has them up at Bananas?
Yeah.
I wonder if Neilio has tried them.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I
saw Alan at the NAMM show.
You did?
Yeah, I talked to him for a bit. I like Alan. I've gotten along with him for years now.
Yeah,
I do remember years ago.
A few times.
Years ago, he was abrasive because you would trip and fall over all the names that he would drop.
Right.
But he, in recent years, he's been, I don't know, for whatever reason, I've either gotten used to it or he's calmed down with it. Yeah, I'm curious about this Diamond compressor again, man. I had one of these years ago. It sounded great.
I think the compressor to get is the Cali 76.
Who makes that?
Let's take a look at it. I forget who the maker is.
It'd be hilarious if it was my company.
Oh, if it is, I'm getting one.
It would just be funny because I wouldn't know it. If it's full tone, I'm not getting anywhere near it.
No, it's not full tone. I wouldn't be pushing
Origin Effects.
Yes.
I don't know who that is. Why is this the compressor to get? It sounds like you're doing what you were just shitting on earlier.
What's that?
Telling me about.
Oh, no, it's a high end. It's a nice compressor.
What does somebody need a compressor for? What do you do with one?
But first of all, I don't own one.
Yeah, but what do you a compressor?
Yeah. No, I don't own that compressor. I have a Wampler. I have two Wamplers.
What do you use a compressor for? Clean tone?
Yes. I actually use it as a line conditioner, if you will. Like the buffer comes in and then I have the compressor on. If I use heavier drives, which is very rarely, I'll shut it off because the noise floor gets lifted too much.
Right.
But for the most part, I use it on everything. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had one on a board in years.
Yeah.
I'd be I think the only way I'd want to use one is if I literally had like my signal split through an AB box where On one side of the AB box, I had my dirty sound, and on the other side, I had that compressor, and it was clean. Because I don't want to use it for dirty sounds at all.
Well, no, yeah, just shut it off. They have
Right.
have foot switches on them that you can step on and turn it off.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But if I got to step on 2 pedals now to get my dirty sound, that's annoying.
Yeah. Well, that's why we all need is amp switches.
Exactly. I need an RJM mastermind.
My Wampler light. My Wamplers. I never sent that to you.
Mini ego compressor or full size ego compressor?
Full size.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. What are you waiting for?
I don't know. Maybe do I have the paperwork right here? Is that what this is in front of me? What is this?
I don't know. You've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. I don't know. It works still. If the compressor works, the light just doesn't work. Sucks.
Well, what about just soldering a new LED onto the board?
I don't know what I'm doing. Kidding me?
I don't know.
Not my thing.
I don't know. With that beard, you're looking distinguished, like you could accomplish anything.
What I could do is this.
Right.
That's an idea.
Contemplation beard.
Right.
Oh, folks that are listening on the podcast. Oh, who are we kidding? You're not listening on the podcast.
Right. Anyways, folks, the message of today's podcast is, I don't care if you're watching gear videos, but at least try to learn something on the guitar once a week.
That's your
better yourself. Yes, that's what look. If I'm still doing it, why shouldn't you get out there and practice? Listen to something new.
My message for this week's podcast is, if you're watching pornography, I don't know, watch whatever you want, even the Stepfather.
What the hell?
That's just enjoy yourself.
I'll tell you what else works really good is Wonder Bread with some butter. There you
go. You're still on that. Oh, man. This episode's been brought to you by the makers of Tone Plastic.
Exactly. I actually watched this guy talking about there was a gypsy jazz guy I watched, and he was talking about how to solo over a C7 chord. And he was saying his technique is to solo playing G minor. And I was watching him play, and what bothered me was he never brings up the fact that he's playing in G minor, the 2G minor to F, not the 6G minor to B flat.
Yeah.
In other words, he's playing G Dorian. E is natural. But he doesn't bring it up, and it's like, I would have just said, like, play over the G, it's the key of F. It's an F major scale, but it's from the 2. And, but it was interesting. He was playing some cool licks. He was talking about it, but I was like, here's a guy out there that's making a video that at least is telling people a little bit of technique that a G minor 6 basically can be played over a C7 chord. Almost the same notes. The D in the scale will act as the 9. The minor third is the 7. There's an F in there that acts as an 11. It works. And I just thought it was cool. Here's a guy making videos that's doing that. Now the video was creepy the way the guy talked, and his eyes were always like, but I was like, oh, he's not trying to sell me a gypsy jazz guitar or tell me that this amplifier thing that sticks to the back of the guitar changed his life.
The end of the video, he's talking about a gypsy jazz acoustic pickup. Sure. Django Reinhardt used this particular gypsy jazz sound hole enhancer to capture his tone. Yeah, no, I know.
All right, everybody, we're going to call it quits. We will see you next week. We hope everyone has a great week.
All right, good. Everybody. Catch you later, in fact. Oh, God.
Very good.
Bye.
You're listening to Guitar Talk with Dave and John.